Hi everyone, I think I am live. Welcome to another one of our LinkedIn Live events. Today's topic is going to be how to overcome the fear of rejection as a life coach. Before I start, I'm just going to quickly check if I am connected. I actually had a lot of technical difficulties today connecting, so that is why we are starting late, but hopefully, we will not have any. Okay, I think it should be working fine. Okay, yes, it is. All right. So it may show up as a different live on LinkedIn itself, like just a post below the original live event, but it is showing. Hopefully, I had a lot of technical glitch with the platform I'm using today, so I am unsubscribing to that. All right. So, uh, the reason I chose this topic for today is because I've come to find that a lot of coaches are very afraid of making their offers. They're very afraid of actually going out there and actually talking and taking calls from clients because they believe that what will I do if I get a no? How will I face myself? How will I face the client? And then they anticipate all of this embarrassment, the failure, this fear of, oh my God, what will I do now? The helplessness, and lots of heavy emotions. So, today I want to talk about this because a very big part of running your own business is going to be the ability to handle a no, right? And not take it personally, not make it about yourself. So, the very first thing I want to talk to you about is what exactly does a no mean, right? For example, when a potential client is saying no to you, what do they really mean? When a potential client is saying no to you, what it really means is that they do not want those services in this moment right now. Okay, they're not rejecting you, they're not saying no, that no, you're not a good person, you're not a good coach, or that they will never want this. None of that. Please understand the statement I've used. They do not want this particular service right now, and the reason could be multiple, right? The reasons could be multiple. So when a potential client is actually saying no to you, what it really means is that for whatever reason they don't want the service. And what are you supposed to do at that moment? You are supposed to be curious about the reason instead of taking it personally. A lot of coaches believe that if someone is saying no to me, it means that they're rejecting me as a person. My value will come down, my worth is come down. Some coaches also get very angry. They feel like, how dare this person reject me, how dare this person say no to me. Or some people will go into this self criticism mode. They will start to over analyze their coaching. Oh my god, did I say this wrong, did I say that wrong, should I have used this formula, should I have used that formula? Please understand that no matter how great of a coach you are going to receive no's. In fact, the more no's you receive, the more you actually, increase your chances of getting a yes, and your success plane actually increases, right? So when somebody is saying no to you, it just means that they do not want the service in that particular moment. Now, tell me, what could be the reasons why someone may not want a service? Very first could be that they don't actually understand what you're offering, right? Second could be that maybe they just don't want it right now. Maybe they believe that right now they need something else. Third is maybe they want to create some money in their life before they buy from you. Fourth is they themselves do not want to give themselves a chance. It has nothing to do with you, but the rate of this self sabotage right now is higher than the desire for transformation, right? Or let's say they don't want to do anything at all. They were just curious about a conversation, and when it got real, when they realized that okay, they are going to actually have to put in the work to change their life, they got scared. They don't want to do it. So there could be multiple reasons why a potential client may say no. It has nothing to do with you or your self-worth, right? For example, let's say uh, you know a Mercedes Benz exists, right? And it's a great car. Now, let's say you don't want that car, okay? For whatever reason. Maybe you think that it is a bit too expensive. Maybe you think that I don't think I really like that car. Maybe you think that, the color that I want is not really available right now. Or maybe you think that, you know what, I think I'm going to buy it after a couple of years. Does it mean that the worth of Mercedes Benz is going to go down because of your opinion? The answer is no. There will be someone else whose dream car is Mercedes Benz. There is someone else who's saving up to get Mercedes Benz. There is someone else who's looking at Mercedes Benz and their minds are being blown that, oh my God, this beautiful car exists. So, similarly, if someone says no to your service, it means that they don't want it in that moment. They may want it later on. They may be thinking about it. They may be creating money in their life for it. They may be, taking a test drive of it, just the way, when someone comes to a clarity call with you to see how it feels like, right? Or maybe they just don't want it because it's not their cup of tea. Doesn't mean that other people don't want it. Doesn't mean that other people are not desiring it. Doesn't mean that other people are not waiting to get it. So your job when you get a no is to move to next one. That's the acronym of no. No stands for next one. When someone says no, you move on to the next person. You go on to serve the next person. And that's why one of my favorite ideologies in coaching is never ever come to a point where you need a client. Never ever come to a point where you need a client more than they actually need you. Never ever come to a point wherein when you're talking to this particular person, you are coming from a place that, oh my God, like, let it be that this client says yes. Please God, let this client say yes, right? Never ever come from that energy. When you need your client more than they need you, that is when the desperation will come in, that is where the fear will come in, and that is where everything will start to go wrong in your coaching as well. You will stop being your powerful self, and then you're going to go into this subconscious people pleasing mode, right? So when you get a no, understand that it is not about you. And when you are when you're seeing that, okay, I am taking it personally, be curious about why the person is saying no. In fact, one of the things I teach people inside LZTM is coach the people through their nose, right? When I say coach, I don't mean do hard selling or convince them or push sell them. Please, God, no. Someone once tried to do that to me in the beginning of my career, and I vowed to never work with that coach ever again, right? And it was very desperate on their part. It was horrible. I'm not talking about that. See, when a person says no, it doesn't mean that they don't want transformation. Please understand the essence that if someone is coming to you, right? If someone is coming to you to get coached, they want the transformation. If they're rejecting the transformation, right? They're rejecting themselves. They're not rejecting you, right? They don't want to step into the highest version of themselves. A good coach will be curious about their no as well. That what makes them do that, right? If it is about money, they will coach them through it. If it is about hesitation, they will coach them through it. If it is about self doubt, they will coach them through it. So you can coach your potential clients through the no's that they are giving you. And when you don't understand or when you see yourself taking their no personally, be curious. What is the reason they are saying no? That way you will have clarity that it has nothing to do with you, because it rarely is, right? And in fact, it may also happen that simply the energy is not aligned, right? Your energy and the person who's sitting in front of you is not aligned. I'll give you a few examples. So, for example, about I think 7 or 8 months back, I had a. I'm so sorry, I keep getting emails. 7 to 8 months back, I had a clarity call with someone who already had a clarity call with me like 1 year back in 2023. They again scheduled a call with me. And in 2023, when they had a call with me, it didn't work out. They didn't want to take it up. And I let it go. Then again, she scheduled a call with me, this particular person. And one thing that I noticed, like this time, what I did not do that I did in 2023. So in 2023, I sort of went into a little bit of self doubt and then I came out of it. But this time, when they scheduled a call with me, which was this year, I understood a pattern of this person, which means the pattern basically was that they were looking for a shortcut. They wanted some advice out of me, and I was very firm with the fact that I don't give any kind of advice. This is not advice. This is going to require inner work, and I made it very clear to them what will the inner work look like, and what is it that needs to get done, right? So this time, I exactly knew why this person cannot be my client. The thought did not even cross my mind that I did something wrong, because one of the things that I look for in my clients is the desire to want to do the work, right? Desire to actually transform. My ideal clients are never people who are seeking shortcut. And this particular person who was sitting in front of me was looking for a shortcut. So in that moment, I realized that this person is not up to the standards that I have set for my clients. Because at that moment, all the clients that I was working with, they all met that standard. Even right now, the clients I'm working with, they all meet that standard that they want to do the inner work. So This time, what I really did was that I understood, and this is something I teach to my students as well inside LGTM, that you need to have some standards for your clients as well. If they don't meet it, then it doesn't even matter whether they say yes or no. You need to check in. Do you really want to work with this person or not? Do you really want to give energy to this person or not? Because there could be someone else who's your ideal client who's waiting for you. So try to analyze whether the person sitting in front of you actually meets the standard of your own ideal clients or not. And if you have not set a standard, I invite you to set one. If you want to really become a high level coach who charges at premium and who works with people they love working with, you need to have higher standards for your clients. And when someone is saying no, be curious about it. Be curious, what is the reason that is going to give you peace of mind, that is going to give you the actual reason. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is collecting no's. So, this is an ideology I actually got from Rich Litwin in the very first year of my business. I was watching one of his videos, or I think it was one of his emails that I was reading, where he said that he gave his coaches a challenge of collecting no's. That take a challenge, how many no's can you actually collect in a month? Because what tends to happen is that usually when we get one no, two no, three no, our motivation tends to dip, right? For some people, it just dips after one no or two no. For some people, it is three or four no's. For me personally, it was the number five. If I got five no's in a row, my motivation would just go completely, finished. And that only happened to me once in my life. It was in the first 3 to 4 months of my business, right? And I was going through this phase where I was like, I just don't want to work, nothing is working out. So Rashid will actually asked that, open up your calendar and see how many calls have you actually taken in the last month. And then I opened the calendar up, and I saw that I only took 6 calls. One of them got converted, and I got five no's. And I was shocked because in my mind, it felt like I had taken, I think, 100 calls because of this exhaustion that I was feeling. But in reality, I had just spoken to 6 people. One of them became my client, and five of them didn't. And that's it. I gave up. So it was such a huge reality check for me, because usually when we are hearing a no, it's not really about the client. It's the hit to the self esteem that we take, and that often happens when we haven't done inner work, right? So when you are experiencing this loss of exhaustion when you're hearing a no, really see how many no's are you actually collecting. Because the more no's you collect, the more, the chances become for you to actually get a yes. For example, now I don't really get more than two no's in a row. Like, it hasn't happened in the past 2 years, to be very honest. I started my business in 2022. It happened once in 2022. And then for the past 2 years, it hasn't really happened. Obviously, because I got good at my craft, but also I started looking at real numbers, because it is so easy to make something, blow something out of proportion, I would say. In your head, you blow things out of proportion, in the sense that, oh my god, I have done so much work. But if you really open your calendar and see, you would find that you haven't really done. And that's when I took this challenge. I took the challenge of collecting no's. And when I did that, after every third or fourth no, I would get a yes. So it became a really fun game. I really recommend checking that challenge out. I think you can just Google collecting no's of Rich Litwin. Lovely challenge, and I highly recommend you take that. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is why no's are actually important for you. Before I do, I'm just going to quickly see if my LinkedIn is working fine. Fine, because okay, I think it is working fine. If someone is watching this as a recording, because I know a lot of people do on YouTube, then if you have any questions, you can just like list your question down in the comment section. I always check it, and I always reply to it as well. And by the way, we also have a free community called the Empowered Coach. It's a community for aspiring coaches as well as current coaches. I write there every single day. I send a lot of powerful audio coaching there. I'm also doing free group coaching these days, to help the coaches there to start and scale their business. If you're interested, you can very well join us inside. Okay. Now, why no's are actually very, very essential for your business? See, when you start out your coaching business, right, you don't really know a lot of things. Most of the things that you know, are making conclusions out of are assumptions, right? For example, in the beginning, usually when you hear a no and you haven't done inner work, for example, if you're not inside a program like LCTM, when where you get coached every single week, there's probably a high chance that you got your training done and that's it. Now you don't really have any support. So when you get initial no's, you make it about yourself. You take it very personally, right? So you have all these assumptions. So what you essentially get when you collect no's is data. And when you have a lot of data, you can actually see what is going right and what is going wrong. For example, for some people, the reason they get no's is because they aren't actually able to coach very well. The client is saying something else, they're asking some other questions, the client is feeling confused, the coach is also feeling confused. So it's a coaching problem. Whereas for some people, it is a selling problem. They don't really know how to sell. They do the coaching really great, but when it comes to talking about their offer, when it comes to selling, their confidence goes down, their hands start to shake, they feel like, oh my God, I'm feeling cringy, I don't want to sell. So it is a selling problem. So when you don't collect and when you don't receive enough no's, you don't really know why are you getting a no in the first place. So we don't really know what to improve on. So you need solid data on what exactly are you not doing right. For example, for me, coaching wasn't really the issue ever. For me, the issue was selling, because the thing is that I did not know how to sell, right? Like when I entered the business, selling was something that I used to be terrified on, and now it feels funny because I love selling now. So what I used to feel in the beginning of the business was, whenever the turn came to actually quote my offer, quote my price, or talk about my services, I would feel nervous, or sometimes I would feel anxious. Sometimes I would feel that the numbers aren't coming out of my mouth. Sometimes I would want to quote a number but a lower number would come out. So that is something that I did deal with. So it was a selling problem, and I often used to take it personally that okay, maybe I did something wrong, or maybe I didn't coach right. But coaching wasn't really an issue for me, it was the selling thing. So similarly, it could be something else for you. For example, for one of the coaches I spoke to, this particular person told me that, Rianji, people are not buying from me and all that. And when we dug deeper, we found out that she wasn't really coaching things. Like she wasn't really coaching with the right energy and with the right questions, right? She was here and there. So we helped her work on it. So the point is that it could be any problem, but you will not actually find what the real reason is why you are getting no's unless and until you don't have enough data. And what does data mean here? Knows, and being curious about the knows that you're getting, which means talking to the person. And please understand that when you are doing that, you're not being cringy, you're not being pushy or anything of that sort. Think of it as a person growth thing that you're doing. When you become curious about the no's that you're getting, you also help the client, of course, because you can coach them through that. But you also get a lot of information on what is it that you are doing right or wrong, and you can improve on that. So every no gives you an opportunity to improve your selling as well as improve your coaching. So you need no's. It is essential, specifically if your business is less than 20 clients old, right? So again, I don't care when you got your certificate. I know a lot of coaches who got their certificate years back, but they haven't really even worked with 5 or 6 clients. I want you to work with at least 20 clients, okay, and then come to a conclusion that this could be the reason why I'm getting no's. Before 20 clients, I want you to be curious and I want you to go out there and get as many no's as you can. Because unless and until you have not reached that number, your intuition hasn't really developed properly. Because to for an intuition to also develop, you need experience to back it up with. So if you are less than 20 clients old in your business, I don't care how many years it is, if you haven't worked with at least 20 paid clients, not unpaid clients, paid clients, okay, then you need to go out there and get more no's, get more and more no's, so that you have more and more data. Okay, now the next thing I want to talk about is learn to sell with ease instead of desperation, being pushy, or being cringy. So, a lot of people are afraid of rejection or afraid of no's, because they sell in a way that they themselves don't like. For example, the very first coach that I worked with, he used to sell in a very pushy and cringy way, in the sense that it really would make me feel that okay, why is this person like doing that? And of course, as a result, I did not work with this person ever again. But the current coach I'm working with, he never tried to sell me anything, right? I was curious about his work, and when I inquired about him, he explained to me he never once tried to like uh, sell me in a cringy or pushy way where I felt that I was being forced, right? And as a result, I actually ended up buying from him because I like that, right? And that is with most people, we don't like being sold to, right? So similarly, if you don't like selling, right, that could probably be a very big reason why you're also afraid of no's, right? It is because you're not selling in a way that you actually enjoy. For example, this particular coach who I worked with in the very first year of my business, this person told me to DM people and follow up and all of that stuff, and it used to make me feel very cringy, right? Again, I'm not saying it doesn't work. It doesn't work for me, right? I never believed in that. I always believed in people coming to me, right? So I stopped doing that, and in the first year of a business, I used to think that I hate selling. The moment I stopped working with this particular person, and I realized that okay, I can sell in the way that I love, started loving selling. For example, I never ever DM people now. I never ever go and like follow up with people. Oh, have you thought about me or something like that? The point is that I have this very big belief that if someone wants to work with me, the conversation that they're having with me is powerful enough that it'll stay with them for the rest of their life, right? And I make sure that my coaching and my marketing is at that level, right? It's sharp and clear enough that whoever is reading me or consuming me, they actually know me. It's not generic. So if you don't like the way you're selling right now, change it. You don't have to feel cringy and pushy about selling. You don't have to feel cringy even when someone says no, right? You don't have to get angry if someone says no. You don't have to drown in self criticism. If all of that is happening, it means that somewhere you are doing something that you are not enjoying, right? When we don't enjoy our own process of working, then a lot of difficult feelings come up. And the fear of rejection and not wanting to sell is something that often comes up when we are not in love with the way we are selling. For example, I'm not a very big fan of email marketing. I'm not a very big fan of DMing people. I'm not a very big fan of trying to like follow up multiple times. What I'm a big fan of is creating a lot of value. What I'm a big fan of is doing live events, writing for my clients, writing for the people who want to work with me. What I'm a big fan of is coaching my community, even if it is for free. That is what I like, right? Serving, right? I don't really want to go into people's inbox. I am always in a deep belief that people want to come to me, right? When they come, I don't care how they come, I don't care who comes, I don't care. So I like this way, and that is why I'm able to sell consistently. And at the end of the day, when you love the way you sell, people lean onto that love, and the no's that you get automatically reduce. And that is exactly what happened with me as well. The reason why I started getting less and less no's is because, first of all, I did not care. I did not care about what the other person was, going to say, either a yes or a no. I would serve them either way. I would behave with them the same way. It doesn't matter whether they say a yes or a no. I would still tell them that, join my community, come with me. Whenever you have a question, DM me. Like I say that to all of the people who are ever connected with me. So because I was so in love with my selling process, the no's automatically went down. So similarly, if you are so afraid of no's, I wanted to check in. Are you actually enjoying your business? Like, are you actually in love with the process of, selling? Because that's going to play a big role. Okay. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is a no is nothing but a seed you have planted. So, what has happened over a period of time, and again, this is something I teach to people in LCTM, is that just because someone is saying no right now doesn't mean that they don't actually want to buy from you ever. For instance, um, the place I'm living in right now, right? I live in a serviced accommodation. I saw this place in 2023, January, February, I think. And my first instance was that no, you know what, I don't like it. And for some reason, I couldn't stop thinking about this place. Like it was there in my mind, and that desire built up, built up, built up. And in 2023, around September, October, like in after like 5 or 6 months, I was like, I have to have this place. Like I want it. It was there in my mind. The for example, like my the place that I live in, it has like really huge windows, so there's a lot of sunlight, and the kitchen is great, and the room is great, and everything. So I had this image that built up over a period of time to a point where I just could not have this place. I wanted it. So the point I'm trying to make is that just because someone says no right now doesn't mean that they will stop thinking about you, doesn't mean that they will not buy later from you. And this has happened with me in a business too. A lot of times people have said that, okay, no, I don't want to work, right now. I don't want to get coached right now. And again, as always, I would always say that's okay with me. That's okay with me. And then they've come back to me in 2 months, 3 months, 5 months, 6 months, 8 months. And then they've worked with me. And I've charged higher because again, I increase my prices every 3 to 4 months. They've paid higher and they still work with me. So sometimes when someone is saying no, they're not saying never. They're saying no for now. right? So it is simply a seed you have planted, and you don't know when it will germinate. It can germinate anytime. It can germinate in a week, in a month, in 3 months, 6 months, 7 months. You don't really know. For example, sometimes people who have not worked with me one on one have actually joined my training program, or they've joined other programs of mine. So you don't really know, right? A no is not a forever no. A no is a maybe, or a no is that no for now. You don't really know what may happen. So that is why don't let go of the relationship with the potential client, right? Have a relationship with them. Be curious about them. Again, at the end of the day, coaching is about serving. Coaching is about how powerfully can you serve, how powerfully can you actually be present with the client, and how can you stay in service despite letting your own ego come into the picture, your own interest coming into the picture, right? That's it for today. That is what I wanted to talk about when it comes to overcoming the fear of rejection. Please understand that when it comes to fearing rejection, it's not just always about a no. It's about a lot of things. It's about the way you sell. It's about the way you feel about yourself. It's also about the relationship you have with the word no. For example, if you have had some childhood trauma around rejection, or let's say you were bullied growing up, a no can feel like a very personal thing, right? So it could also be due to lack of inner work. So how my students overcome things like this is that LCTM, the lifetime life coach training and monetization program I run, I don't really help my students just with becoming a life coach and making money. Of course they do that, but what we also do is that we have lifetime Friday group coaching calls, wherein my students bring in any personal block, any business block they're struggling with, any goal that they want to achieve, and I coach them, and they have this support for their entire life. And that is why LCTM students build their business with ease. They never feel rushed. They never feel that, oh my god, my program is ending in 3 months, I have to get everything out, right? So if you are someone who wants to build your business with ease, doesn't matter if you're an aspiring coach or you are a current life coach, you want to get inside a program where you can scale your business, it doesn't really matter where you are in your journey. How much coaching you really get is never enough, right? As a coach, your biggest asset is your brain. The more you get coached, the more you expand your brain, the more your income and impact grows. So if you're someone who wants to be on this journey where you want to consistently expand your income and impact, and as a result of you wanting to expand your brain as well, you're very welcome to join us inside LCTM. You can just DM me and I would be happy to talk about the program with you, or you can just schedule a 15-minute call with me, and we can talk. Thank you so much for joining, everyone. I'm going to see if we have any questions at all, and then we are going to say goodbye for today. Okay, so far we don't have any questions. I don't want to prolong this more. I'm trying to keep our live events less than 30 minutes, because again, they were going like 45, 50 minutes, and I don't want them to be so long. I want them to be bite sized so that while you're doing some chore, you can just, consume it. Thank you so much for showing up. Those of you who did, I can't really see how many people showed up actually, or even if they did not, I don't really know. I'll see you all for the next live event in probably at the end of the December. Bye bye.